What's up, everybody? We had such an exciting time tonight on Below Deck Mediterranean. There was some lady pond swimming. There was a lot of drama. Love was definitely a battlefield tonight. Let's chat about it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, yeah. You can sing. It sure was tonight. Holy moly, things are going down on this ship. What is happening, guys? Hi, I'm your host, Laura L. Thomas, here at AFTERBUZZ TV. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Laura L. Thomas TV. And to my left, I got my girl, Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie Banks, and you can find me at JamieBanks_ and also on YouTube at Jamie Banks Travel.
That's right, and we're missing our co-host, Paulina, because she's a little under the weather tonight, but I think we have her on the line. Paulina, are you there?
Hi, guys. I am.
What's up, girl? We're missing you.
Oh, I miss you guys, too. Wish I can be there.
Well, we hope that you are resting up and that you feel better. We are going to look forward to having you here with us next week. But to just get a quick opinion, what do you think about this episode, girl?
Overall, the episode was okay. I think like the fans and the viewers watching, we wanted more of the drama that we saw at the end.
For sure.
We saw like the whole Bobby and Hannah thing, and I think for those who saw Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen last week,
right,
they were on there and they were talking, about everything that happened in New York and with Lauren and how they don't get along, and so I think everyone just wants to know more about that. I know I do.
100%, yeah. And what did you think about Malia in this episode? She had a little bit of a more of a presence than we've seen last week.
I like her. She's playing, the middle. She doesn't really know what's going on. She doesn't know their past relationship, and so I think she's just kind of confused right now, and I think she's just liking the attention, which is totally fine. She's a young single girl. Why not?
I like it.
So I'm a fan of her.
Yeah, for sure. And what about Captain Sandy? I think that we got a little more insight into her this week. What do you think about Captain?
We did. Well, I actually really like her style. I like that she can be very encouraging and she keeps an eye on her crew.
Sure.
But I like that when Bobby screwed up, she wasn't laying down the hammer. It's a different kind of style where, hey, he's already messed up. He already knows about it. He already feels like crap.
Right.
Let's just talk about it towards the end, which I think is the right approach, because you don't want to, well, what's that saying? You don't want to kick a dead horse, when it's already down or something like that.
Yeah, or don't want to kick a dog while he's down. Yeah, for sure.
There it is.
Yeah, a horse, a dog, whatever. Don't want to beat a dead horse. Don't want to kick a dog while he's down. All of those. So
yeah, exactly. And I think it was appropriate.
I 100% agree. Jamie, do you have some insight on that?
Yeah, I think she handled it really well. I'm glad she didn't yell at him, because I think, he's already embarrassed about it, and that would just make it worse. And, going forward, they can have a talk, or they have a much more solid relationship to go forward on.
Yeah, she definitely seems like she's got a strong handle on her ship. Like, she knows how to handle her crew. She knows and I know last week we had a little bit of an issue with, was it the right time for her to teach Malia how to drive the tender, in the middle of a charter? But she does seem to have, a really great handle on how she wants things done and what she expects from her crew. And I really loved how she approached Bobby in this.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, girl. Did you get a little grossed out with the glass door shattering? My girl Jamie was not a fan of it.
I'm not a big fan of blood, but it wasn't too much where I got grossed
it was too
out.
much
I just
for
want to
me.
know how the heck that happened, because that's scary. Like, you could have been in the shower, you could have been in the bathroom, it's a terrible situation.
Right. Well, from what I understand, the hatch fell, right? Like, there's an emergency hatch,
right,
and it happened to be in the girl's shower this time, and so I think the hatch fell, and that's how it shattered the
right. So imagine if you were in the shower when that happened. That would have
Right.
been terrible.
I'm glad she's okay. I mean, it could have been a lot worse, and she could have gotten a lot more cuts throughout her body, so I'm glad she's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what about Bobby trying to creep in there and get a little sneak
Oh,
peek? What do you think about that?
That's what I was that's what I was gonna ask you guys. Like, was he really trying to see her naked or not? Because look, I get it. I love that he's a fireman. I love that he took charge and wanted to be like, okay, let's assess the situation,
Right.
and that's his environment.
Sure.
So I love that. And Hannah, there's just something about her that I'm just like, okay, just let him do his thing. I don't think he's a creep like that in that way to where he's gonna take that to his advantage. He didn't even bring that up at all.
Right.
You know, like about trying to get a peek.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to be creepy.
I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest.
I think it got a little bit blown out of proportion. I think he was in that moment really just trying to do his job and do what he's medically trained in. So, you know, we got a little glimpse of Bobby actually being a decent human for a minute in this episode tonight. And I love Bobby. I think he's good TV. I think he's like really entertaining. I actually would like to like hang out and party with Bobby, you know, but
right? You and me both, sister.
But I do think that in that situation, I do think that his intentions were good. So
yeah, and
of course, I totally would have been comfortable.
Trained.
I don't care who it was. As the fact that you have training and I'm bleeding, please help.
Yes, please come see me. Come check out everything. Although I was curious because it did seem that her wounds were mostly on her head and feet. So why was she naked?
Why are we in the shower?
She was washing all the. I mean, I don't know if I would wash the glass off, but I think she was just trying to clean up to figure out where the blood was coming from.
I see. Okay, great. Well, I kept being like, wait, why are we worrying about her being naked? Because the only injuries that I'm seeing right now are like on your head and your toes. So I don't need to be naked for you to assess that. But anyway, well, girl, thank you so much for calling in, and we hope that you feel better. Any other last thoughts before we let you go?
Thank you. No, I think we got everything. I really just want to talk about that drama at the end, but I guess just like everybody else, we're going to have to see it next week.
I know. I can't wait. Juicy. We'll see you next week. We'll chat all about it.
All righty. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next week and have a good show.
Thanks, girl. Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, so we kind of just touched on some of the big stuff, but I think one of the things that I really want to chat about, staying on this topic of Malia, we really got to see a lot more of her in this episode than we had.
I like her. She seems really nice, fun, down to earth, and just a genuine person. And I feel like I really like that. And so does everyone else. Everybody likes her. The girls like to be her friend.
Yep.
Maybe a little more. I don't know. And the guys want to date her.
Yep. And I think that's awesome. What I really enjoy about her too is that she's got this sort of like this super confident air about her that I just think is like so awesome, because she's very confident in herself, and she, you know, all the guys are coming to her and being like, oh, I want a piece, I want to get a piece of that, and she's like, get in line, dude, like come on. She's just very much like playing it cool, playing very hard to get, which I really liked. But did you see when wait, time out, are we officially calling Wes Wiz?
I guess you could say either.
Because everybody's calling him Wiz tonight.
I don't know if he likes it. I wish I knew. We should tweet him and ask him.
All right. We're going to tweet at you, Wes or Wiz, to see which one you prefer. But did you see that when he came into the dinner at the end, she, like, her eyes lit up a little bit?
That surprised me. I don't know. She said that he was a gentleman.
Yeah.
So I think it's cute that she kind of was into the more gentlemanly of them. Not that the other aren't gentlemen, but the others are more, I would say, flirtatious, rather than Wes. Seems like he's more reserved about that kind of stuff.
For sure.
And so it was interesting that it seems like he might be one of the ones she's interested in.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. Yeah, she's a super cool girl. I'm really excited to get to know her a little bit more. She really impressed me in this episode, and she's a girl I'd want to hang out with. She's also a girl that Hannah would want to hang out with. Apparently, Hannah was a big fan of Malia in this episode.
Did you think that was romantic? I personally felt like it was just friends, like they're just girls having fun.
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't know that I thought that it was romantic, but I do. Speaking of that, so I thought it was really cool that that Captain Sandy talked a little bit about how she's more of attracted to the person, and I think Hannah said the same thing, that it doesn't. Gender doesn't necessarily always matter, that sometimes it's more about the person or the soul that she likes to get to know. So I really thought that was cool.
Yeah, I like that. And I think that's kind of really opening up too, to talk about the people you date and what kind of, you know, personalities you're attracted to. So I feel like that was kind of a bonding moment that she opened up in that way.
Yeah, 100%. But no, I definitely thought that, I mean, we've all had those moments with our girlfriends when we're like, you're so pretty. You're so pretty too. No, you're so pretty too. Look at that booty.
Let's go pee.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So no, I don't know that it was necessarily romantically a romantic moment, but I did think that it was a really cute moment between the two of them, and a nice bonding moment. One of the first that we've had this season of them having friends. being friends on the ship. And I do love, aw, I know, isn't that adorable? I do love that Captain Sandy too was the one that like took charge of that and was like, it's my tradition, I'm gonna take my crew out, like let's go celebrate this charter.
Yeah.
She was really, she's growing on me, man.
I like her.
Every week I like her more and more.
And she seems like she really knows what she's doing, and she has a lot of experience. So it's great, especially, you know, her leadership style, because there are such a green crew. She could be kind of mean about it, like, oh, you don't know what you're doing, but she's really helping them learn, and I think it's a very positive thing.
100%, 100%. And I love how cool that she remains in potential moments of chaos. She doesn't let anything get under her skin. When Bobby, you know, messed up with the anchor and all of that, she was just like, all right, this is a situation, let's handle it. Like, I could definitely see her being chased by pirates and her be like, okay, all right, come on, you can try to chase me, but it's not gonna work.
That's such a cool story.
Yeah, she's awesome. And actually, I think you can go on to bravotv.com and read a little bit more about that story. So a little plug there for that. Let's see, what else did we, well, a couple of other little things. We got to know a little bit more about Max this episode.
Yeah, I want to see more about him.
Yeah, I do too, but he's got a cute little girlfriend named Emily. We learned that that he's just super smitten with her, but he is just, he's so adorable.
He's funny, yeah.
He is.
I think he's really rooting for Bobby to get the girl in Malia's case. I feel like he's kind of like his wingman in some ways.
Are they rooming together?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, of course, he hears a lot of it. But, okay, so speaking of Bobby, Bobby and Lauren. Let's talk about Bobby and Lauren first.
Okay.
Because I wrote in my notes, Bobby and Lauren, ... ugh. What is going on? Why is he ignoring her so much?
Also, over the weekend, I noticed Lauren tweeted that she actually never dated him officially. They were never boyfriend-girlfriend.
Sure.
They only went on one date, and it wasn't a dinner date. So I think that was something I wanted to clarify.
It was not a dinner date?
It was not a dinner date.
Okay.
I think it was the clubbing date.
Okay.
At least I believe so.
Like, so from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, or somebody tweet me and tell me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, I think he brought her and a couple of other girls to watch What Happens Live.
Yes, in New York. Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time that she met Hannah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the infamous night that we're talking about, like the 3-girl in New York, kind of like we dated in New York situation.
Yeah, and I guess Bobby believes that Hannah was kind of saying, oh, don't go for him. Or that's at least how he took it.
Okay. So really then, if that was their only date, then they didn't really date.
I don't really think so. I mean, yes, I agree with that statement. I don't know if that was the only time they've hung out or what.
Well, clearly not, because they've had time to hook up.
Okay, yeah, true.
So
I don't know. I'm confused. If I would like to know, how many times have you guys actually hung out together, and what exactly happened?
All right, we need to get Bobby and or Lauren on or in this studio, so we'll make that happen, because I really need some answers. Yes. I need some answers on this, people. Come on, I need some answers. But he is kind of being really shady to her. He's not, at least the way that the episode was edited. He was not looking at her in the eye when she asked him a question. He kind of ignored her. I just feel like he's being a little super shady to her, and I don't like it.
I think he's definitely being awkward, but like you said, we don't know how it was edited, so sure. I don't know what I'm not seeing. But in some ways, maybe he's trying to make it clear to her that he's not into her anymore so that he can go for the other girls. Well, because if he was, kind of still into her, and then he wouldn't really be able to go for Malia because it's awkward and drama and triangle. So maybe he's trying to be like, okay, I moved on.
Sure, and I get that. You can move on, but I think the way that she's handled the situation of how she's moving on is much classier than what he's doing. She's at least trying to engage in him and have a friendship. I mean, come on, they work on a ship that's, the size of my iPhone. Are you kidding me? Like, they're going to run into each other. They have to work. It's kind of what Adam said about Hannah. Was it Hannah in the beginning when there was a little bit of a drama, and he was like, look, I got to live and I got to work with this woman.
Oh,
like, yeah, let's hug it out, I think that's a much better approach, and I think Bobby could maybe take a little page from Adam's book on that one.
Yeah, the boat's so small, you see them all the time. You got to make it a little bit less awkward for you guys.
All right. And especially if you're going to hook up with, one of the other girls, like at least be on like cool terms with Lauren.
Yeah.
And
she seems cool. I like Lauren. She seems sweet.
I do too.
And genuine. I like her a lot.
I also like the fact that she's like, I want to come on this boat and like prove that I'm not just some bimbo that Bobby brought to the
Yes.
club. You go, girl.
Yes, and she could have let that stop her. She could have not wanted to be on the boat because Bobby's there, but instead she went for it anyway.
Sure. I love it. In terms of, there was a little moment tonight, and remember last week when we talked about predictions, I said something about Bugs and Adam are gonna have a thing. I don't know, not a romantic thing. But they're like oil and water right now. They keep butting heads, in my opinion. And there was a little moment tonight again in the galley where he's a little turned off by the way that she is trying to run her second stew position. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wonder if she was the chief stew, would he still be acting that way? Or is he kind of more turned off because he has two women that are kind of saying, oh, don't do this and don't do that? I don't know. I would like to know that.
Yeah, I wonder, it's almost like he's saying she doesn't really know her role. She doesn't know how to do her role as a second stew. So I wonder if that's just the thing that's rubbing him the wrong way in this moment.
And they're both kind of going off in different directions, muttering under their breath. So I know something. They're definitely
Storms
brewing.
Storms are brewing. I can't wait to see what happens. It's gonna be. I think that's gonna be something juicy to turn into, and yeah, I think that's exciting. So, let's see. What else do we want to chat about? Anything else stick out to you other than the big thing at the end that we got to talk about?
Well, did we want to talk about watch what happens live?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Let's a perfect lead into all the drama that happened at the end. So you caught up on Watch What Happens Live.
Yes.
I did as well. First of all, Hannah girl, you look smoking.
She was gorgeous. Who did her makeup?
I don't know, but come to my house and do my makeup every day because she was smoking on that show. I loved it. I thought she was amazing. I thought she looked gorgeous. I also wondered why Bobby was wearing a choker until they told me that it was his mic. So thank you for clarifying that. And he looked hot too. I really thought that he looked good.
Yeah, they both look great.
I thought she was smoking on that show. So Watch What Happens Live last week after episode 1 premiered. Hannah and Bobby were both on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and there was some tension happening there. There was a lot of tension. There was a lot of like calling out each other. Bobby at one point accused Hannah of constantly throwing herself at him,
which seemed like he meant off air, like during during the off season,
right? Because all we really saw on last season's charter was one small kiss,
and it just seemed very friendly. It seemed like they were kind of just friends and having fun. It didn't seem like there were any like serious feelings there, at least to me.
No, and it seemed maybe this much alcohol induced. I don't know. Who knows? But it was more of a friendly kind of kiss. I didn't get any sort of romantic vibe from it.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm so confused why Bobby's all like, you're throwing yourself at me, you're doing this, you're doing that. But again, we don't know what happens off camera. So Bobby's making these accusations that Hannah has been throwing herself at him and then also blocking any other opportunity that he might have with other women. So she's vehemently denying that. What do you think?
I think it's interesting that he's bringing that up because that is something that would probably be private,
Sure.
Especially if it wasn't actually on camera on the season. But on the other hand, I see why he was so angry at her. I don't agree with it, but I think this whole issue is kind of what fueled the fire on this episode because he thinks that Hannah's doing this constantly. So I think that's why he was so mad at Hannah for saying things to Malia, which I don't think she even said anything.
No.
But I think that this has been going on for probably 6 months or a year. I don't know when the last show was.
Yeah.
So all of this is like brewing.
Yeah, it does seem like there may be a history of Hannah having done that. Maybe that we haven't even seen because I don't know that we've seen a lot of it on camera. For him to get so
I can't
up in
remember.
arms about
No, I don't think so.
But he keeps referring to all of this happening mostly in New York.
Right.
Like constantly, you did this in New York, you did this in New York, you did this so it seems to me like it's something that we don't see on the actual season, that it's what happens off season. But all of that leading up, so it was a pretty tumultuous episode of Watch What Happens Live. I think Andy was even trying to kind of temper that
yeah,
situation.
I was wondering because to me it seemed like he was caught really off guard because I
Sure.
think personally it's good for the ratings. Everyone's talking about it. So I think they probably liked that they were fighting, but he seemed like he was trying to diffuse it, not ask them more questions.
Right.
So I don't know if the producers were saying like, "Oh, this is bad. Don't talk about this," but he seemed like he was caught off guard.
Oh yeah, he sure did, and but I thought he did a pretty good job of
He
really
stayed
handling.
composed.
He really did. He handled the situation pretty great. But you know, as far as like Team Hannah, Team Bobby, time will tell. I think the jury's still out because I think I need to know a little bit more information. But from what I've seen, I'm leaning more Team Hannah at this point. I think just the way that Bobby spoke to Hannah, even not only in the episode but even on Watch What Happens Live, I just thought it was a little bit below the belt. I thought she handled herself with some class, and you know, and Hannah's a girl that I don't want to fight with.
It's funny you say that. I don't know if any of you viewers watch The Bachelor, so sorry if you don't. But
100%.
But Andy said the same thing about Nick when on a live after show. Basically, he talked about some private stuff in the bedroom, and she said that's below the belt that you're bringing this up on live TV. So it was like the exact same situation.
Right.
She's saying, "Why are you bringing this up on this live interview?" And so,
If we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Why bring it up on live TV if you can't talk about it?
Yes.
That's all I want to know. Yeah, 100%. So I'm leaning a little bit more Team Hannah. What about you? Do you have a team Hannah, Team Bobby?
I feel like in this situation, in this episode, I was leaning towards Hannah. And but I feel like maybe because she's a girl, I don't know, but I do like Bobby a lot. He seems really nice and fun.
Yeah.
I was watching on Twitter over the weekend. It seemed like they were still fighting over Twitter as well. And he was saying things like she's inflated, her ego's inflated, and
But I
he's
think
very
his
cocky.
is the one that's inflated. I think his head is like gotten so big out of this whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know them. I haven't actually met them in person, but it was interesting just because, he's saying, well, and people are saying, why are you attacking her? And he's saying, well, it's time for me to stand up for myself.
Yeah, well, okay, so maybe that's all he's doing. Maybe he's finally getting his side of the story out there. So time will tell. So jumping from Watch What Happens Live to tonight's episode, where we have Malia and Hannah having a nice little fun girl moment. Everybody goes out and it's a good time. Everybody's drinking and having fun and dancing, and it's a kumbaya moment for the boat. And then Bobby goes all up in arms when Malia, who I think was just, I think she was just kind of being a little like flirty and kind of fun, and it was maybe just a slip of the tongue by saying, "Oh yeah, we heard so many Bobby secrets tonight." I mean,
yes.
dripping with sarcasm.
That's what started it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 100%. Like her just making that one little comment that was very sarcastic, at least in my interpretation of it, very sarcastic, very much just tongue-in-cheek kind of moment, and Bobby went off. And I don't know if it's because, they have been out partying and, when you get, I don't know if he had been drinking or not, but if you have a couple of drinks, you tend to get a little more emotional about things, and this may have been the case, but Bobby finally blew up on this boat and goes right after Hannah and like, you always do this to me. You get in my way for when I want to, like, you did it with Lauren in New York, you're doing it with Malia now. And I thought that the way that Hannah composed herself and handled him, she was like, please, like, she remained calm. She was very much just like, tell me what I did. Tell me what I said. Tell me, like, she actually went to him because he charged after her when she's in the bathroom. And then she's like, can I please finish my business? And then I'll come talk to you about it. And she did. She was a woman of her word.
I see why he was so angry, though, just because we talked about basically he thinks that this issue happened before. But in this situation, I don't believe they were talking about him. Right. So this all came from nowhere.
I think this blow up kind of happened. I think this blow up happened as an emotional reaction to the situation without all the facts, obviously.
Yes.
Bobby thought that Hannah was saying one thing and sort of falling into the same footsteps that she's done in the past with him. Malia didn't help the situation by dropping that little nugget in there. I think it was all just kind of like a huge misunderstanding that made for great TV. I was very happy with it. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out with the two of them, because if this is episode 2 and they're already fighting like this.
Seriously, and Bobby thinks that they were talking bad about him this early, so I'm sure that fire is just going to keep stirring.
My question, though, to Bobby, my question. why are you so worried? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have anything to hide, if you don't have anything that you've really got to worry about, then why are you so worried if Hannah's going and talking to Lauren or Malia or any other girl, you know?
That's true. But I guess from his perspective, when a girl is saying, oh, this guy's not worth it, then it kind of makes him seem a little bit less less important or less valuable, I guess. Like, oh, don't go for him.
Yeah, but if you don't have any, I mean, I don't know.
But yeah, you're right.
If there's no skeletons in the closet, then like, okay, great. Like, go say everything that you want to say. If it's not true, then I don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, and if the girl really likes you, hopefully she just goes off her heart anyway, right?
Right, exactly. So I'm wondering if this is if this is just sort of poking an already insecure bone in Bobby's arsenal, our armor, a chink in his armor. I don't know.
Let's go with that.
We're nailing the metaphors tonight. We're nailing them. Yeah. So only time will tell. I'm really excited. What do we think about Adam's Crocs before we go?
I'm surprised with those. I didn't see those coming.
I mean, but it's a boat, right?
Yeah, okay, true. It's wet.
It's a boat. It's wet. I do agree with Hannah, though. I will walk a mile in anyone's shoes, including heels, but I can't do Crocs. I'm sorry. I can't.
I mean, I've never tried them. Maybe they're very comfortable.
Hey, they're breezy. Okay, they're breezy. Yeah, so I guess that's it for the episode tonight. Do we have any predictions for what's coming next week?
Well, I also want to ask you who you think.
Your AFTERBUZZ TV
predictions. This is a prediction. I'm wondering who you think is going to be the first romance, and who's going to kiss first, and all of that.
Oh, wow. Okay, based on the episodes that we've seen so far, I definitely think that it's going to be Malia.
Okay.
And maybe Wes?
Oh, okay.
I think maybe, based on what we've seen tonight and what we saw last week, mostly because I think that she is playing hard to get with the rest of the other guys. I think if there's going to be a serious relationship development, I think it's Malia and Adam have a little bit more of a chance of having that happen. Mm-hmm. But I think she's going to test the waters with Wiz.
Okay.
I'm going to call him Wiz. I'm sorry. Everybody tonight was calling him Wiz. I'm calling him Wiz. What about you? What do you think?
Wow. Okay. I actually agree with you. I think the first kiss, though, would be between Malia and Adam, because he seems like he might be one of the more flirty guys, and everyone wants to kiss her, so I think they'll be a good match. And then maybe later on she'll actually go for Wes, and who she might actually have a stronger connection with. I'm not sure.
So we have a flip-flop.
we have a flip-flop.
Yeah. The same two guys.
Yes.
Or same three people. So that's interesting. That really is interesting. Yeah. I think so. And it is, she did say tonight that, can I call him Wiz?
We're just
Wiz
gonna
is
do it.
a little bit more of a gentleman.
Yes.
You know, and Adam is more fun to flirt with. So I think you're right. I think you might.
Well, you can't steal it. You already said yours.
No. I'm just agreeing with you. I'm just agreeing with you. I'm still holding on to mine. I'm still gonna hold on for her to end up with Adam, because I think that they would be a super cute couple.
Yeah.
And I think that she may test the waters with Wes first. So. Anyway, those are my predictions. That's your prediction. Yeah, what do you guys think? Give us your predictions in the comments. Tweet us. Let us know. Before we head out tonight, we just want to just say thank you so much for watching us. And Jamie, where can we find you?
You can find me at JamieBanks_ on Twitter and Instagram, and you should definitely tweet me with your opinion of this episode, and I'll definitely reply. So let me know.
She is. She's awesome. She's very engaging. So, and she's up on the Twitter. So chat with Miss Jamie. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at Laura L. Thomas TV. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you guys next week for some more Below Deck Mediterranean. Peace out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.